Hi, today I'll be informing you all on the history of college campus shootings. This is important because we are all in college and living on a college campus, so it's good to know the history of these events and how to better prepare for them in the future. This is even more important with the recent events that have taken place of the shooting of the high school in Florida. Today I'll be discussing the Virginia Tech shooting, the Grambling State University shooting, and how to better prepare for these situations when they happen in the future. First, I'll talk about the Virginia Tech shooting. This happened on April 16, 2007. A guy named Sung Hoo Cho killed 32 people, 27 students and 5 faculty members. According to History.com, this site gives info about every day in the history of the world. He began shooting at 7:15 in a dorm. He killed a girl and a resident assistant. Then again, he started shooting at 9:40 inside a classroom. He locked people inside a classroom and killed them. Now, it seems kind of weird because they were 2 hours apart, so how exactly did this happen? According to Christine Hosser of the New York Times, the university did not inform its students until 10 a.m. that there was a shooter on campus, and this was after the second shooting. They did not want to panic anyone, and they did not send out any emergency texts after the first shooting because they believed that the shooter had either left campus or left the state entirely. A girl was going to class at 10 a.m. and she did not get the email. A friend texted her and said, "Hey, don't go to class. They just emailed that there's a shooter on campus." And she had no idea that this had even happened. A little bit about the shooter. His name was Sung Hoo Cho. He was 23 years old. He had attended Virginia Tech, and he had often visited the mental health professional at the university. He often threatened to take his life. In between his killings from 7:15 to 9:40, he actually recorded himself and sent a video to NBC admitting that he had committed the crime. NBC had got this about a day later. So these school shootings are more common than you think. There's only a select few that people have really heard about. So I'll tell you about one that's not as popular. On October 25th, 2017, 2 students were killed at Grambling State University. Those killed were Earl Andrews and Monquarius Caldwell. Their killer was Jalen M. Wayne. This is according to the Washington Post and Marwa El Tagori, along with 2 other authors. This was as the result of a fight. They got into an argument, and as a result, one drew a gun and killed the other. This guy was not a student on campus. However, Earl Andrews was a student, but his friend Monquarius was not. According to ABC News, Karma Allen, the suspect was not caught right away. He was about two hours later, he was still not caught, and there was a big manhunt looking for him. So a little bit about Grambling State. They handled it very well. Right after the shooting, they sent an emergency text out to all the students warning them to stay inside their dorms. This campus has about a little bit over 5,000 students, and a third of them live on campus. So they handled this much better than Virginia Tech did, and they alerted all their students, and so they could all stay inside. So how can we better prepare for these in the future? According to Eric Hoover from the Chronicle of Higher Education, we need to better prepare kids by having colleges give seminars and speeches to kids. Randy Spivey, a former hostage survivor, he ran the programs for the U.S. Department of Defense. He created a program that students can watch in order to help them prepare for these situations, such as being aware of exits and how to block doors with chairs and all that kind of stuff. But this cannot be overdone because they do not want to scare the students into not wanting to come to college at all. And we are just about done. Today we discussed the Virginia Tech shooting, the Grambling State University shooting, as well as how to better prepare for these situations in the future. This is not the happiest of topics, but it is important to discuss so that we know how to handle this in the future.